Everybody. Today we are going to tell you everything that you need to know about diabetes. Thank you for joining the great show, the Go JB Health. But today we're going to see what diabetes is. We're going to see how can you prevent diabetes. Also, we'll be looking at if you have diabetes, what can you do to prevent yourself into the complications, and how do you know that your diabetes is well managed? Right here on Go JB Health, all this is about to happen. Thank you once again for being part of this great show. My name is JB. I'm a family practitioner who teaches people on how to be the mechanic of their body. Right here, and I'm the host of this great show, the Go JB Health. Let's go. If you just joined, or if you are not a follower of this platform, I encourage that you follow me so you know whenever I'm live the next time, but also you can be aware of whenever I post those educational videos, at least 1 to 2 videos every day that teaches people on how to be the mechanic of the body, on how to understand the way the body works, on how to take better care of this body that we have. For everybody who is already here, give us a follow, give us a share. Again, we are about to talk about diabetes. I know we have spoken here on this topic before, but I have a high demand. I have a lot of my people, I listen to them. I have a lot of people who says, hey, brother JB, I want to hear this show again about diabetes. This is exactly what we're about to do here. Whether you're diabetic, whether you're worried about becoming a diabetic, whether you know somebody who is diabetic, whether you're worried about I'm diabetic but I don't want to deal with complications that come with diabetes, right here, right now, please stay right here. We're about to discuss all this right here. So again, everybody who is already here tapping on the screen, everybody who is already saying hello to us, my friend Taco Bell, how you doing? Thank you for being here. The people, Eugenie, user 16, my friend Agnes, who are here, thank you. By the way, it looks like your subscription is about to expire, so if you want to renew it, it sent me a message that you should renew your subscription. So again, so thank you everybody who is here. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm JB. My name is JB, and I'm a family nurse practitioner. I'm currently in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I work at All Care Health Clinic. I also work at the hospital. So again, what I do here is educate people on better ways to take care of the body. Again, if you haven't followed me yet, let's go follow your brother and you will see. And if you go on my platform, you're going to see more about who I am. So it will give you more information as far as who this brother is. Again, welcome to the Go JB Health Show. We're going to talk diabetes. Well, diabetes is a chronic long-term condition. It is a condition that affects the way that our body use sugar. Now, to better understand diabetes, you need to understand insulin. So insulin is another element that you have to understand, and the body to understand the causes of diabetes and what diabetes really is. So usually our body uses sugar for energy. So it uses sugar to give us energy, to make us strong, to be able to do a lot of the things that we do. So the way it uses sugar is through insulin. Insulin is kind of a catalyst, or it's a transporter that allows our glucose, our sugar, into the cells to give us energy. So usually the people who are diabetic, there is a problem there. Either they may not be able to produce enough insulin, and by the way, the insulin is produced by the pancreas. So if the pancreas is not able to produce that insulin, so therefore we'll have a problem with removing that glucose, or that sugar, from our bloodstream into the cells. So therefore will cause us to have lack of energy, which is a reason, by the way, that you see a lot of people who are diabetic, they end up being very skinny, because what happens is they are not able to use that glucose as energy, because they don't have enough insulin to bring that glucose into the cells. So that's what happens, because usually we have all that glucose in our blood. There's a signal that sends, that tells our body, or pancreas, that it needs to produce insulin, so that insulin could come in and remove that excess of glucose or sugar that we have in our blood, move it into the cells. Usually that's what happens. However, when you have a pancreas that is not producing enough insulin to be able to remove that sugar out of our blood, then therefore, if you could tell, as I try to teach people to be the mechanic of that body, but that could make you understand exactly why you'll be diabetic. Why? Because being diabetic, it means you have too much sugar, too much glucose in your blood. That's what really being diabetic is, which is tested by checking your hemoglobin A1C, which we will be talking about this in just a minute. So the thing is, if you do not have enough insulin to remove that excess sugar, hello my friend, sweet Cheeky, thank you for being here. So if you do not have, we'll be talking about A1C in just a minute for my friend who asked about it. So if you do not have enough insulin to remove that excess glucose from the blood into the cells, therefore you become a diabetic. Okay, so now the other reasons that you will become a diabetic is if your cells, the body cells, are resistant to the insulin. This is the instance where your body is still producing the insulin, or the pancreas is still producing the insulin. However, the insulin is produced, but your body cells are resisting the insulin. So the insulin is having a hard time taking that sugar and transporting it into the cells to produce energy. However, either way, whether you are having problem with insulin resistant, or you're having problem with the production of insulin, it's just diabetes. And we know all it does, it's really a concentrated, or a concentration of sugar, of glucose, into our blood. Now, why is that a problem? This is a problem because usually anytime you have a very high level of sugar somewhere, and that's why, you know, the people who are diabetic, you see how you have those UTI frequently, you have urinary tract infection. Whenever you have too much sugar somewhere, sugar will destroy things, okay? So therefore, that's why people with diabetes end up with kidney disease, for instance, because it destroys the filtration system that you have in your body and the kidneys. You see people with diabetes, they end up with neuropathy, like leg pain. They have burning in their legs all the time because it damaged those nerves. So then it's causing you to have nerve pain. This is why people with diabetes, you're gonna see them with issue with retinopathy. They may become even blind. Okay, they may just see my friend nurse underscore flying, thank you for giving me the rose, appreciate you. So you see them, you see those people they will end up having retinopathy, where some of them they start bleeding in the eye, they having a reduced vision, and sometimes some of them end up being blind. So then this is just to explain why it is an issue for us to keep that high sugar in our blood. Yes, you need sugar to live, because remember, sugar is what we use for energy. So because as we said, the sugar, we use it for energy, but you have to have a way of transporting it out of the blood. If you have too much of it in your blood, it's gonna damage everything. It's like having a car. Let's say, if you, wherever you're from, but if you are buying a car from up north, you will see, because of the fact that we have a lot of snow and there's a lot of salt that is being used to melt snow. So a lot of those cars, they have rust under the frame. So the same thing, it's because it's rusting because of that excess of salt that is, or if you have a car, wherever it comes, if it's from by the ocean, usually it causes rust. So the same thing happens in our body. Everything in our body, like the vessels, the blood vessels, also gonna affect by this, because it's gonna rust everything. That's what sugar does to our body. So this is why it's very important that we try to keep that sugar down. So it's not for fun that we try to be checking your A1C to see what it is. By the way, A1C is what determine whether you are diabetic or not. I know some people were asking. Join Vessels, I see you. Thank you, everybody who is tapping, everybody who is commenting. I really appreciate you. Everybody who are sharing, appreciate everybody. So the A1C, for the people who are asking, the hemoglobin A1C, it's actually when we check your blood glucose, and we see what it checks to see in the past 2 to 3 months how well your glucose has been managed in your blood. Remember, the purpose is to make sure that you have a blood that is not having too much sugar in it. And we just explained to you just a minute ago that the reason why we want to make sure that this blood doesn't have too much sugar in it. So therefore, we need to check A1C. It's that sugar that is attached to the hemoglobin, and usually that lasts about that, which recycle itself at about every 2 to 3 months. So therefore, it's a way for us, because remember, if you eat a lot of sugar, I do a finger prick, it will show that you have high sugar. If you don't eat at all, when I check your finger, it will show that you have a low sugar or a normal sugar. So they come up with the A1C because you could say, hey, I want my doctor to know that I am good. Then all you have to do is starve yourself and come to the office. We prick your finger. It's going to show that your glucose is low. However, when we do the A1C, you would have to be starving yourself for the past 2 to 3 months to lie to your doctor. So therefore, we do that A1C because it tells us exactly whether you are diabetic. So it is extremely important to know how much sugar has been laying in your blood, or been sitting in your blood, for a better word. So the thing is, you want to know that, because if you don't know that, and that sugar is staying in your blood, is staying elevated in your blood, you are running the risk of having a lot of damage from that from that sugar sitting there in your blood. Again, we say you're running the risk of losing your kidneys, you're running the risk of having issue with your eye, your blood vessels, and having neuropathy and things like that. So we will be looking also, because I know some people are saying, well, how do I prevent myself from being a diabetic? So that's the next thing that we're about to talk about right now. But by the way, you are watching the Go JB Health Show. My name is JB. I am a family practitioner, and I'm the host of this show here. I know there's a lot of you who knows me. There's a lot of you who've been following this platform, but I encourage, if you're new here, I encourage that you follow me so you know whenever I am live. I'm everywhere on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. By the way, the show, if you miss anything, the whole show will be loaded on our YouTube channel at GoJB Health. So it will be loaded on there. That's an opportunity that you have to go and watch the whole show if you miss anything. And I have a lot of other shows, a lot of other information just there to educate people. But in the meantime, I have to thank the people who are recently following us. I want to thank everybody who are supportive of this platform, because just so you know, I have a lot of people who support this thing or the show that we have here. I have a lot of people who support our page. We have a lot of queen, king, princess, a lot of people who like what we're doing, who like that we are bringing something that is different, that is new, something to educate people. Just so you know, I'm a very open person, so you ask me questions, I answer throughout the show, but also I want people to know exactly who I am. You know where I am. Again, if you're in Georgia, you could stop by and see me where I am. Thank you, my friend Sweet Chiki, say we appreciate and love you too. Yeah, I love every single person who supports this platform of education. Everything we do on this platform is about educating people. We try to take a lot of those topics. And again, this show is very beneficial, not just for somebody who needs to learn about their health, but it's also helpful to even the providers. So a lot of the doctors now that we have the opportunity to educate certain people of the reasons for certain things. My friend who is giving me those roses, appreciate you. Thank you for your gift. But so because we are able to tell those people exactly why certain things should be happening, saying when I talk to you about glucose and you know about insulin and you know why your glucose should be lower, so those things they actually help your provider. They help you to have a better conversation with your provider. So pretty much that's what we do here. I'm currently in Georgia. I'm sitting at All Care Health Clinic. If you are in the Atlanta area, if you want to know exactly who I am in person, you're very welcome to stop by here and see me, and we could have a conversation. If you live in the area, you want to be our patients here, again, I'll be more than happy to take good care of you again. But I want to say thank you to everybody who is here supporting what I am doing. If you are new here, follow me. Just be a follower so you know whenever I'm live the next time, whenever I'm providing this quality education to my people. That's what I do because I love my people. I just again, I always say this is something that I used to share with one patient here in this office, and I have decided to expand it to hundreds of thousands of people. We're not talking about just people in the United States, but I have people all over the world benefiting from this. So if you are supporting this platform, I appreciate you, and just know you are supporting education. You're just supporting bunch of people, you know. Again, my name is JB and I'm the host of the Go JB Health Show. Go JB Health. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB Health. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB Health. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB Health. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB Health. There are some people who may wonder what kind of show that is where he has a beat, because this is very unusual. Usually the setting for this type of education, a lot of people are wondering why isn't he just sitting there and be straight and start talking. But you know what I have found, and I believe and I enjoy the way that I do this. So we try to do our show a little bit different. It's a little different. That's why we have a background music. We're having fun with our friends. We're communicating with you who are supporting us, like my friend Ruby, who been tapping on the like button. So we try to do that because we wanted to do it differently. We wanted to do it where it's entertaining, because we found and we have a lot of good feedback about that. That's why we do this the way that we do it. So again, we are about to talk about what can you do so you don't become a diabetic? If you wonder, if you have questions, you like, well, Jesus, I hope I don't become a diabetic. I'm about to tell you, your brother is about to tell you some of the things that you could do to prevent you or yourself from becoming a diabetic. And I'm hoping those information, you could always share them with somebody that you love. I am not educating just for the people who are watching, but I'm hoping they could share it with other people, including this whole show will be available on YouTube at GoJB Health on YouTube. It will be loaded on YouTube later. I'm hoping that you guys could share the link with other people as well who may be interested in knowing how to prevent themselves from becoming a diabetic. Thank you, Joanne Vessel, for sharing the live with more than 5 friends. Appreciate that. But how do I prevent myself from becoming a diabetic? What can I do? Number 1, exercise regularly. Thank you, my friend Sparkle, Sparkle 59, who say, hey, handsome, respectfully. Well, hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here. So number 1 thing, the things that you could do to prevent you from becoming a diabetic, the number 1 is exercise. Exercise regularly. Again, I'm not saying you should be going to the gym like I'm doing, lifting weights and all that every day, but at least walk in your neighborhood. Every day, walk in your neighborhood. If you have a group of friends, make it like a little get together time. We're gonna walk. Let's walk in the neighborhood. Let's walk in the park. Just exercise to prevent that. Okay. Number 2, you should eliminate or reduce the amount of sugar and carbs. And I know that we had a show about sugar, about can you cut down, or if you can you completely cut sugar out of your diet. So you should eat more vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, I should say, because some of those vegetables, they have a lot of starch which turns into sugar. So you should diminish the amount of alcohol that you ingest. Alcohol has a lot of sugar in it. The canned food, concentrated drink, you should stay away from all these things. To be honest with you, all these will help you so you don't become a diabetic. Not becoming a diabetic means you're gonna be avoiding a lot of the complications that comes with somebody becoming a diabetic. Now again, the next thing I'm gonna talk is like, what if you already the diabetic? There's a lot of people who are always also asking themselves, what does it mean to be a pre-diabetic? So because a lot of the time you may go to your doctor, they may say, well, you are pre-diabetic. What does that mean to you? What should you do if you are pre-diabetic? Go JB Health. Sweet Chicky, how you doing? I'm sorry, but you know, we're about to talk about what you can do if you're already diabetic. So remember what we're about to talk about right now. We're about to say, if you are pre-diabetic, how can you prevent yourself from becoming a diabetic? And what does that mean to you when your doctor tell you you are pre-diabetic or you are borderline diabetes? Go JB Health. My name is JB, and I'm the host of the Go JB Health Show. Go JB, go JB Health. Go JB, go JB, go JB, go JB Health. Well, What is pre-diabetes? What is it? When you go to your doctor and they say you are pre-diabetic, or sometimes they may say you are borderline diabetes, what does that mean to you? Well, we're about to discuss this right now. And thank you for the people, by the way. My friend Sophia, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you for the people who are tapping on the screen. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for that. But anyway, so pre-diabetic, it means that it's a warning sign. When you are told that you are pre-diabetic, it means that you are not diabetic yet, but it is just a warning sign. It is just a way to say that you got to be careful. If you don't want to be a diabetic, that doesn't mean you will become a diabetic, but it's really an indication that you need to be careful, because if you don't want to become a diabetic, then there are things that you need to do so you could prevent yourself from becoming a diabetic. What should you do if your doctor tells you that you are pre-diabetic? What you should do then? Well, you know what? It's not much to do except for following those things that I just told you, those different steps as far as exercising, eating a low sugar diet, and all that. So those are the things that you will be doing. You don't have to start taking medications. I know a lot of people ask, well, I'm pre-diabetic, should I be on a medicine? Well, no, not necessarily. But what you need to do, it's just a warning sign that is telling you if you don't do something about it, then you will eventually become a diabetic. Now, again, we'll be talking about the people who are already diabetic, but you don't want to be a diabetic. So therefore, you want to follow those things that we talk about, the things that I said earlier. And again, if you miss any part of the show, remember, it will be fully available on our YouTube platform, our YouTube channel. So at GoJB Health, so you could go there and subscribe and be able to watch the whole thing, the whole show. But if you are pre-diabetic, no worry. It's nothing to stress you out, but it is just a warning sign to tell you that if you don't do something, then you are running the risk of becoming an actual diabetic. So that's really all it is, y'all. So now we're going to see what should you do if you are a diabetic, including the things that are the different complications. So we're going to try to explain to you what those complications are, what is causing the complications. Again, if you just joined, we encourage that you follow me. Thank you for the people who are tapping on the screen, the people who are sharing, the people who are subscribers to this platform. I truly appreciate every one of you. I have a group of queen that has been very supportive of what we are doing, so I'm very, very, very thankful for every single one of you. I love every single one of you who are tapping on that screen, like my friend Gamble, my friend Marjorie, all of you. I really appreciate you guys. So we will be talking about the people who are already diabetic. That's what we're about to talk about right now. My friend G Jared 4, thank you for liking, thank you for tapping on the screen, appreciate you.
Go JB, go JB, go JB, help, go JB, go JB, go JB, go JB, help, go JB.
My friend 30 Woman, thank you. Thank you for tapping on the screen, I like it. My friend IJ, thank you for tapping on the screen. Everybody who is tapping on the brother's screen, let's go with JB Health, okay? It is just a platform to educate our people. I really love every single one of you for supporting me and spreading this message and spreading this news, this great information. My friend happy to count. Thank you for tapping on the screen. I see you. Everybody who is tapping, everybody who is sharing. I have a lot of love in my heart for every single one of you. Thank you guys. Hello, my friend Bungie S Side Bungie. How you doing? Thank you for joining the Go JB Health Show. My friend, happy to count. You have a question? Your brother is right here just to answer questions. That's what we do here on this show on the Go JB Health. That's why I interact with my people. As I'm doing this, I just don't present something and go. I'm just not like a preacher who is just preaching, but nobody could raise their hand and ask a question and say, hey pastor, can I ask you that? I'm not doing it. It's not a unilateral process here. It's it goes both ways. So you ask me questions, I answer questions, we interact, you give me the tap and I say thank you to you, like my friend El Cruzos. Thank you for tapping on the screen. Thank you. And I'm sorry guys if I mess up your name every once in a while. I'm sorry. There's a lot of things going on that screen. Plus English is not my first language, just so you know. My excuse, I guess. Thank you, my friend L, cuz thank you for tapping on that screen. I appreciate you. Well, so what if you go to your doctor and your doctor tells you that you are diabetic? What does that mean to you? What should you do? Well, your brother is telling you. So number one, now we did talk initially at the beginning of the show. We did say how you would know if you're diabetic. By the way, you know that full show will be loaded on my YouTube at GoJB. The whole show will be loaded if you were to miss anything. But if you just join, we said to know if you're diabetic, you gotta know your A1C. So we gotta check your A1C. So if they tell you you are diabetic, and a diabetic type 1 is very common, it's very common, and usually with that type of diabetic, the pancreas is producing insulin, but you don't have sufficient insulin to meet the demand of the sugar that you're ingesting. So really it's a constant supply and demand. The more you supply yourself with sugar, you need more insulin to remove the sugar from your blood, if you understand that. So we need to check your A1C because that's what will tell us whether you are diabetic or not. Now if your doctor tells you that you are diabetic, it means that your A1C is at that level that qualifies you as being a diabetic. Now if you are told you're diabetic, what should you do? Well, number one, you need diabetic education. So again, if you're somebody who has been watching my show here, it may be different, but you need diabetic education. It means you need somebody to teach you about diabetes. You know how I teach you about insulin, what insulin does in your body, and you know some people who takes insulin. So you're taking insulin because your pancreas is not producing insulin, or because your pancreas is not producing enough insulin. And over the years, over time, obviously we get older and we're just not producing enough of that insulin. So therefore, if you notice, if you are diabetic, you notice that maybe you were taking 5 units, but then over time, you feel like even though you take 5 units, your sugar or your A1C does not change much. So because your body, number one, your body may become more resistant to the insulin, or your pancreas may be producing less insulin. So therefore, you need more external insulin that should have been produced. My queen, Miss D, in the house. Thank you for being here. You know how much I love you. You know how much I appreciate you and appreciate your support. Thank you for being here. So then what happens is you need to educate yourself. That's the first thing that you do. Like here in this office, if you are newly diagnosed diabetes, we need to educate you. So we gotta educate you, number one, about proper food to eat, like I was saying earlier, and the things that you should be doing as far as exercising and everything. We're gonna educate you on how to check your blood glucose, because you need to be checking it now to see where it's at. Because especially if you are on medications, you want to know exactly where your glucose level is before you take that insulin or you take those pills. So therefore, what we do here in this office, if you are newly diagnosed, we have you purchase a machine. So you go to the pharmacy. Some of those machines, they are not that expensive. The supplies are usually the more expensive to buy. So you go there, you see what matches best. But just for your information, if you get in a new machine, I would really encourage, hey, my friend Jack, how you doing? My friend Jack and 113, how you doing? I see you there. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everybody who is tapping on the screen, by the way. If you're new, follow me, and again, the whole show will be available on YouTube later on this evening. After the show, we'll have it available. So if you are a newly diagnosed, before you get that machine to check your sugar, I encourage that you talk to the pharmacist and ask them for the pricing for the supplies, because sometimes you may go to the pharmacy, they may even give you a free machine. But then when you look at the price of how much you're going to pay for the supplies, you got to really take that into account. That's extremely, extremely, extremely important. So what we do, ask you to get a machine, and you bring the machine here in this office. Then we teach you how to check your blood glucose, so how to use your machine. We help you with the calibration of the machine and everything. So once we help you with all this, we give you the proper education. Now, we also educate you on the risk factors, or the things that will happen to you if you don't manage that sugar. Things like kidney disease, and things like, we do have experience of having different patients coming here, and we educate them. They didn't follow our education. Unfortunately, they get to that point of kidney disease. We kind of explain to you exactly why you're going to have kidney disease with sugar, like I explained it at the beginning of the show. So also, we encourage exercising, because again, we did say you could prevent yourself from getting diabetes by doing those things. But also, if you are a diabetic, you need to continue to exercise. You need to continue to manage your diet, because what it's going to do, it may allow you to be taking less medications. Because just keep in mind, the medications, like the main medications that we use for diabetes, that has been a proven medicine that has been there a long time. A lot of you who are diabetic are probably taking it as metformin. However, every one of those medications, they have a lot of side effects. So you may see that somebody asked for the difference. It looks like the difference between diabetes type 1 and diabetes type 2, we're about to talk about it in just a second. So we make sure that you have the proper education. We encourage you to diet and exercise, and we're going to give you an appointment in 2 to 3 months so you could come back, so we could continue to monitor your kidney, because we need to monitor your kidney. As I was saying, if we don't monitor those kidneys, what's going to happen, you may end up with kidney failure, because a very high percentage of people who are in kidney failure, very high percentage, is due to diabetes. When I say due to diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes. Now, I know that I had this conversation here before. A1C 5.7, perfect. Keep it up. So now I have this conversation here before. It is not how much medications you're taking, but it's how well this medication is working for you. So how do I know that my diabetic medications are working? Well, the only one way for you to know these diabetic medications are working, you may be telling me, well, when I check my sugar, it's normal. Yeah, that's a way too. But really, the perfect way to know that is by looking at your A1C. We did talk about A1C at the beginning of the show. Again, this full show will be available on YouTube, so if you missed it, no worry, it will be posted on our page. But the A1C tells me how well my sugar is controlled. Again, we're talking about somebody who is already diabetic. Again, we already talked about the pre-diabetic, how are you not becoming a diabetic. But if you are a diabetic, you need to make sure that you pay very close attention to that A1C, because this is how it's not gonna be. Your kidney will not be protected. Your heart will not be protected. You are not being able to protect your eyes just by looking at a finger prick, okay, or just by looking at how much medications you're taking. Because again, people like they line up so many bottles. I'm taking so much medicine. Yeah, taking so much medicine is important for you to take your medicine, but if you don't manage, if you don't look and see how well those medications are working, it's like you are doing nothing. It's like you're wasting your time ingesting some medications that have all these side effects but that are not helping you. By the way, everybody who is tapping on the screen, I do see you. It's a lot to cover today. I try to focus on covering as much as I can, but I do see everybody who is tapping on the screen. I'm very appreciative of every single one of you. So somebody asked, what is the difference between diabetes type 1 and diabetes type 2? Well, diabetes type 1 is usually that diabetes that mainly common in kids, but the reason is usually diabetes type 1 is when somebody is really not producing any insulin. So most of these people, they are on insulin, they're insulin dependent, which means you have to inject the insulin. If you were here on at the beginning of the show, or whenever I loaded on YouTube at GoJB Health on YouTube, you'll be able to see that I talk about insulin, what insulin does. Just a little recap. Insulin is what removes blood from, remove glucose from our blood. So therefore, if you have a pancreas, again, pancreas produces the insulin. If you have a problem with that pancreas, or cotton candy, I see you, my friend, my queen cotton candy, my friend with A1C 11.7. Oh yeah, from 11.7 to 5.7. Great job, keep it up, continue to do what you're doing, share what you're doing with other people so they could benefit from it as well, because it's very hard sometimes for people to bring their A1C down. But with insulin, if you with most diabetic type 1, usually they are not really producing the insulin, so therefore you gotta inject, they have to inject. But diabetes type 2 is usually over time, that's when you see it, because it caused mainly by the pancreas started to not producing enough insulin, means it cannot keep up with the demand of glucose that is laying in our blood. Remember, glucose, it's okay to have glucose in our blood because we use glucose, like I said at the beginning of the show, we use glucose for energy. But you have to be able to move that glucose from the blood into the cells. So once you move it into the cells, that's when you get the energy. Okay. However, and that's that's explain why a lot of people with diabetes, like I said, a lot of them, they are skinny. Okay, they're skinny because they are not really properly using the glucose. The glucose is just sitting in the blood. When it sits in the blood, that's what causing us all those secondary problems, like in our kidney, in our eyes, in our blood vessels, okay, and our nerves. So this is what's causing the problem. So, but usually for you to not have this, you gotta have the transporter of glucose from our blood, which is the insulin. So with type 2, people are not producing enough insulin. Therefore, sometimes you could give them oral medicine because their pancreas is still working. Give them an oral medication, it may help, but or you give them insulin, but sometimes they may do both oral and insulin. So again, and it happens over time. Or it could be that their cells are resisting to insulin over time, especially when people get older. Sometimes it's you're more prone to this. So that's really what the difference between those two are. But again, as I said, our purpose, our goal, if you are diabetic, your goal should be everyday A1C. Everyday A1C. If you're taking that medicine, you feel like your A1C is not going down, please don't let the doctor is not the one to tell you that you need. Yes, they know the knowledge, they gotta tell you, but first of all, you need to understand. It's like, doc, where do I need to be? What's my goal? And then now you need to work yourself. You need to work toward this goal. You need to, because nobody can do it for you, you know. So my friend Jack KM 113, I see you, how you doing? Yeah, so you need to know where you need to be. And it's the same thing for even high blood pressure. If you're taking those pills, you need to know what is the normal for me. Where do you want me to be? It shouldn't be something Jackie, Queen Jackie. So it shouldn't be something like somebody is just telling me I'm good. But there's a lot of things in our life we'll learn. So this is something very simple to learn. If I'm diabetic or I'm hypertensive, I'm taking whatever medications, I need to understand before I step out of this doctor's office. I need to understand, why am I taking it? What should be the expectation? How long should I be taking it? How would I know that it's working? Or am I just wasting my time? A lot of people just wasting their time. My name is JB, and I'm the host of this great show, the one and only one, the Go JB Health.
Go JB, go JB Health. Go JB, go JB, go JB, go JB Health. Go JB, go JB, go JB, go JB Health. Go JB. Go JB, go JB, go JB Health.
Yes, Miss D. We're gonna type it up. Thank you for those roses, by the way. We're gonna type it up to the 10K. We are already at 7K. We're gonna just do the tap, 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 tap for the brother. Just to encourage the education effort. Cotton Candy, thank you for tap, tap, tap on the screen. My friend who has a question, I'm right here to answer your question. There was a question, somebody was asking a question about the diabetic type 2. Come on, love the show. My friend Sweet Cheeky says, come on, all show some love. Okay, come on, y'all, show some love. That's what they're doing right here. That's why Miss D's tapping on the love button, on the like button, and giving us those beautiful roses. Bing, bing, bang. Thank you, my D. Go, Miss D. Go, Miss Queen D. So, yeah, somebody was asking the diabetic type 2, and they were asking about type of medications. One thing that I want you guys to understand is that the treatment for diabetes is really, there's a lot of changes in the management of your diabetes, because there's a lot of factors that would determine the type of medications that you have to be on. Because again, it could be, you cannot even look at two people, it could be two different people, but then depending on the way they exercise, depending on their diet, there's a lot of factors. So really, your provider, whether a primary care or endocrinologist, will determine the best course of treatment for diabetes, and they will determine it based on your numbers, based on your motivation, based on how much exercising you're doing. So that's how they're gonna determine what medications that you have to be on. But it's not something that a one size fit all, where I could say, oh, you're just gonna be on this. So that's really how it's gonna be. That's really how it's gonna be. just joined, please follow me, because if you follow me, you're gonna know, or you're gonna be benefiting from all the short medical videos that I push out there. A lot of educational videos to teach you about better ways to take care of your body, but also you're gonna be aware of whenever I'm live, it's gonna send you that notification. If you just join, just know that this whole show today we talk about diabetes. We describe what diabetes is. We tell you what to do if you want to prevent yourself from becoming a diabetic, but also we look at the people who are diabetic. We look at how to make sure that the diabetes is under control, what to look for, and if it's not under control, what it could lead to. So really, we discuss all these things here today, and it will all be posted on our YouTube channel later on after the show. It will be on at GoJB Health. Thank you, my friend Bridget, for the beautiful gift that you're providing. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Again, my name is JB, and I'm the host of the GoJB Health Show. Carol Williamson, how you doing? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Miss D, thank you for tapping on the like button, and thank you for continuously giving us gifts on the show. Appreciate you. Go JB Health. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB. Go JB Health. Go Miss D. Go Miss D. Go Miss D. Go Queen Miss D. If you are celebrating a birthday today, I always like to sing for one of my king, queen, whoever you are. Just let me know. Just raise your hand, say me, and your brother will sing for you. To acknowledge you, and the whole GoJB family will give you some love. We'll show you some love. My friend TIB, thank you for tapping. My friend Cotton Candy, thank you for tapping. I have a lot of people who are tapping on the screen. We're almost at that 10,000K. Is that serious? So Miss D is celebrating a birthday today, is that correct? Or are you just joking? I could start singing. Oh, okay, because your brother is just ready to start singing. So nice, happy birthday. October 1st, just remind me, so we could sing for you. Friend Shan, how you doing? Just wanted to see me sing. So then, happy birthday to y'all. Happy birthday to y'all. Everybody, happy birthday to everybody. Okay, what about that? Whether it's your birthday tomorrow, whether it was yesterday, it was last month, it was last year, happy birthday to y'all. What a show! A show with so many beautiful queen supporting queen like Miss D, like Jackie, like Carol, like Cotton Candy. So many people like Olaide, Queen Olaide. A great-hearted bro, great-hearted brother who joined a bunch of people, a bunch of queen to just educate people. Amazing, right? My friend Deke Green. D Green. My queen D Green. Is that correct? How you doing? Thank you for being here. My friend is asking, how do you get sugar out of your body? Do you need the answer to this question as well? We're about to answer it right now. That's what we do here. We answer a question. Every one of you who is tapping on that screen, my friend TB, hello. Thank you for tapping. Carol Williamson, the queen of the Go JB Health. Thank you for tapping. Appreciate you. How do you get sugar out of your body? A great question. So remember, now when we talk about our body, whenever we ingest sugar, where does it go? It goes into our blood. It's in the blood. Now, I think the best question is, how do we get sugar out of our blood? Because remember, sugar in our blood is poison. Too much sugar, I should say. Too much sugar in our blood is poison to our body. So therefore, how do we get it out? Number one thing, it get removed into the cell and turn into energy. This is the job of what? The job of the pancreas, which is producing the insulin. If the pancreas is not able to do it, you know how sometimes they say, oh, I'm taking insulin, it makes me gain weight. Yes, that's why. So if the pancreas is not able to do it, you're going to have to inject external insulin, which will move that excess glucose from the blood into the cells to give you energy. Therefore, lower your blood sugar. You get it out. In a way, really, that's getting it out. Yes, it's still in your body, but now it's in the cells. It's creating energy for you. It's not causing you those damage that will cause if it stays in your blood. Number one way. The other way usually we are removing sugar out of our body is not it's the undesirable way. Okay? Is when you have all that sugar in your blood and you don't have enough insulin to take it out, guess what happens? Your kidney will try to pump that sugar out of your body. Well, number one, you overwork that kidney. Number two, when you're removing that sugar, you're also removing water out of the body. So therefore, you're running the risk of being dehydrated. Okay? So that's why if you guys ever been in a situation where you are DKA, when you come to the hospital, we give you a lot of fluid because usually that causes a lot of dehydration. If we check your kidneys, it will show you have, your creatinine is off and all that. You're going to show dehydration. So that's the other way, but that's not the way that we want it. So this is why it's so important that we try to keep our glucose down to not overwhelm our system, and let's just hope that our pancreas is working to produce enough insulin to keep up with the amount of sugar we're ingesting. But again, remember, if you keep ingesting a lot of sugar, all you're doing, you're overworking your pancreas because now it has to be producing that thing all the time. So again, you run into the risk as you get older of maybe at one point you may not be able to produce enough. That's why we always say you gotta ingest that sugar in moderation. Very, very important. So really what we want a pancreas that could keep up with the sugar that we add in, just like me, like many of you who are not diabetic. I'm eating, and when I eat something, it turns into sugar, but then I have enough insulin to take that sugar into the cells, giving me the energy that I have. But that's what we all want. That's what we all need. However, if you fail to take your insulin, and again, if you're diabetic, you could just give me a hey on this here, because if you're diabetic, you could tell me that you've been there. So what happens, you say, well, I'm not going to take my insulin right now. Well, you don't take your insulin, in a few days, you don't take your insulin, then you build up a lot of sugar. Then guess what's going to happen? Now, you're not going to use the proper removal way the proper way of removing sugar out of the body, but then you're gonna go through the kidney. Guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna stay up all night because you gotta go to the bathroom over and over and over and over. You're spilling sugar in your urine. When you come here, when we check your urine, it will show that you have plus glucose. That's why sometimes when you go to your doctor's office, they check the urine, they say you have plus or plus 2 glucose or sugar in your urine, because now, and it's never a good thing. You never want your kidney to get to the point of, yes, Miss D, we're gonna get to the 15K. I could tell that. Thank you for setting up the goals for us every day. I appreciate that. So the thing is, whenever you are whenever you have too much glucose in the body and you don't have insulin, whether the internal insulin is not able to bring it into the cells to diminish the amount of glucose you have, or you don't inject insulin into your body to remove it, your kidney will have to do something. It's like, oh yeah, we overwhelmed, it's too much sugar, we gotta do something. This is when you start spilling sugar in your urine, because your kidney now is pumping, trying to pump all that excess of sugar out of your body. And again, it's doing that because, and in the process of doing this, it's causing your kidney to overwork, number one, but also it causing you dehydration because you're losing water with that urine. It's not pure sugar that is coming out of the urine, but it's also water, so it's causing you dehydration. So therefore, that's why it's so important that you continuously taking your blood sugar medication. You continuously looking at the numbers, because remember, when you have too much sugar in your blood, you could get into what we call a DKA, which maybe that's another topic that we're gonna have to discuss here. But you need to make sure that you keep that sugar at a certain level where you don't end up having your kidney to be removing it. So I'm hoping my queen who asked that question, I'm hoping that answered the question to you as far as how do we remove glucose out of our body. My name is JB, once again, the host of the only one show, the Go JB Health Show. If you know a show that is similar, just tag me. We are very unique in the way that we do what we do. Thank you, Queen Misty. Thank you for the love. Everybody who is tapping on the screen, thank you very much. We're heading to the 15,000K. My friend Celia, how you doing, my friend, my queen Celia? Thank you for the love, thank you for the appreciation. Celia Juan Mendez, how you doing? My friend Court Couture, how you doing? Thank you again to you for the love, for the appreciation. Miss D continuously giving us the love, the appreciation. Every queen who is tapping on that screen, you got queen tapping on a screen for a king. That's amazing. Yeah, hot peppers, huh? Chili. I call it hot peppers, but it's chili. She gave me chili. She gave me ice cream. She gave me everything. The music thing, it's like everything that queen is giving me. My queen, my dear, my only one, Miss D. Happy to count. Thank you for tapping, continuously tapping on my screen. I appreciate you. This is the Go JB Health Show, just so you know. Later on, this whole show will be available on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to brother, you gotta go on YouTube and subscribe to me, to the Go JB Health. You know, you could use this music into your videos. You could always go there and say use this music. I do have it available on our page, and you could go use it on your videos, right? Screenshot. Oh, thank you for the cap. Thank you, Queen Miss D. Thank you for being a great leader. For calling the show everything every day for your brother. I appreciate you very, very much, just so you know. Guys, thank you once again for the support. Hand wave. Thank you, Miss Queen D. Go Miss Queen D. Go Miss D. Go Miss D. Go Miss Queen D. Thank you guys. Thank you once again. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the appreciation. Thank you for loving me. And just so you know, I love every single one of you. I really, really love you. This is the best part of my day, the time that I spend here with you guys. Again, continue to support this great platform, the education, the entertainment, I would call it, because we're having fun. The answering of the questions. If I didn't get a chance to get to your question, I'm sorry, but you know, you could always reach me. I'm available on all the social media platforms. If you want to know who I am, if you want to know what I believe in, all you have to do is go on my page and you're going to see that. You're going to see it's a brother that believes in education. If you ever wonder why I have so many people supporting my platform, if you ever wonder why somebody like Queen Miss D is loving what I do so much, if you go to my page, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see that I believe in education. You're gonna see that I provide a lot of information to educate you and many other people all over the world. Thank you, Queen D, for keeping giving us the love, giving us the appreciation. I'm very appreciative of you, just so you know, and also appreciative of so many other queens, so many other people who support this platform, including the people who are subscribing to this platform. Guys, remember, you could always subscribe to this platform by clicking on the subscribing button on top, or by clicking on the gold star on top. So that's a way for you to support. But again, there's a lot of ways that people supporting, people like Carol Williamson who've been tapping on that screen. I really appreciate that. Everybody who've been in their own way supporting what I'm doing. I just want to say thank you to you guys. I want to say without you, I cannot do this. I could only make this possible with your help, with your assistance, with what you do. So without you, then I can't do this. So continue to follow me, continue to support me on everything. So yes, I am on WhatsApp. So continue to follow me, continue to support me, continue to do everything. Go to the platform, go everywhere. Again, if you miss any part of the show, just know the whole show will be available on YouTube, so you can go there and support your brother. Again, once again, thank you guys for being here for me, for your brother. You know, always there for a brother. So I'm very appreciative of every single one of you. Thank you for the appreciation. Once again, we will be here. We'll be here on Friday for another great show, or for another Go JB Health show. We'll be here again with another topic. But if you missed this, it will be available once again on YouTube. But if you want to know about a lot of educational information, about educational content, we have a lot of that on our platform, whether on TikTok, whether on Instagram, whether on YouTube, everywhere. Go and follow me, share me, encourage other people to follow. Thank you guys. Thank you for reaching the 16K in a very short time. Thank you once again, my queen Miss D, for being the leader. You kind of the moderator of this platform. I appreciate you. Just so you know, I appreciate you very dearly. I appreciate your support, and everybody else who contribute to the Go JB Health. I want to say thank you to you guys. Once again, I will get to see you guys later on. It will be Friday again. Tomorrow, if I'm here and I feel good and I'm not so busy in the clinic, I may come up and spend some time with y'all. But definitely on Friday we'll be here once again. Thank you for being here for the Go JB. Once again, my name is JB and I'm the host for the Go JB Health show. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Go JB Health.
This concludes our great health education show for today. Thank you very much. Thank you to every single one of you who spent this precious time with us. Again, if you're new to this platform, we encourage that you follow us so you know whenever we are live the next time. This show comes on every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is JB. I'm a family nurse practitioner who believes in educating his people, who believes on supporting his brothers and sisters by sharing his knowledge with them. If you missed the show again, it will be available on our YouTube channel. And if you have not followed us on YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter, we encourage that you do that now. Again, once again, the people who tap on the screen to give us the likes, the people who shared the video, the people who became new followers, those who gave